Okay, ladies and gentlemen, coming up to my definition of the Champions League itself, what is really our side mean? The winner of the team that there is from European League that chosen by the top 3 or best 4 will join this Championship League. The slot of this UEFA Champions is based on how much effective this team football you are, and then the country will compete on each other to have a more effective way you are to get the more slot you are. The more effective your team, the more slot you get. So what is really coming to our problem is like the UEFA Championship is a committee set the first team that could be participate in the UCL itself, which means that when this person have doing this kind of transfer is open after the league is done, right? Before the participation of the UCL start, like buying the player, renting, or buying just because of this player placing in the team, for example. That is all happened before the UEFA Championship started. The thing is UCL is very, very prestigious, right? It is happened, and the big team most likely have a big model or huge amount of money. For example, like Premier, it will have more capital than the others to take a good player or a good coach, for example. They can afford it anyway to support them in a UCL or the UEFA Champions League itself. So the thing is like the famous player, like they don't want to play in a small league, for example, like let's say a Cristiano Ronaldo or just Lionel Messi, for example. No, they doesn't want to play in a the Portuguese league because it has a least salary rather than a big league, for example, like UCL, for example. The thing is like this kind of salary cap, it doesn't exist in football, like, and the salary cap is only happen in like NBA or WFL, and then which means like no matter how outstanding or how high skill you are, you get salary based on this cap. So it cannot be higher than this cap. So, and because of this salary cap is this called the salary cap is also a good thing because it can be make the fairness for all the player in it, because it give you same exposure and same salary to the one another, right? So when it doesn't exist in the future because of this people like Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, it have a really much more salary rather than the other because of this salary cap doesn't exist in football system, right? When you have money or have more capital to upholding this fairness, like you can afford more. This came to another problem, for example, like even if the league is fair, it make the league more predictable, like the winner is always them, that Champions League high is the winner have a more chance to win in UEFA Champions League itself. So there is also a corrupt, and then it's up and then will be more worse because there is also a corrupted system, like in Italian league, for example, because of this market is already corrupt. Like there is a football mafia in Italian, for example, that will already set the result of the football. It is in very first place, so it is really corrupt. And another example is like when the Spanish league, for example, it is very predictable who will win and who will lose in this kind of circumstances where this come to an UEFA league itself. So the transfer is really doesn't give a fairness in its first place, because it will backlashing the unity of the FIFA upholding. It will make a less unity for its team, like it create the gap between the one team and another team, like this is doesn't surprisingly anymore because the game is already predictable. So moving on to our goals here are to support the UEFA decision in order to make more stable sport of football community and more equal and balanced team in Europe League, then leads to satisfaction or happiness for a society that have an audience on the UEFA Champions League and make more entertaining football competition among the Champions League team in the future. So, and our mechanism here is make a transfer is viable in after UEFA Champions League, and this and make the to upholding the fair play and the unity in football state. So our POV is, first, why is it justified to support the UEFA decision? Second, why is it will bring more good than harm? So our argument is talking about the efficacy. It is more effective and justified to support the UEFA decision because, first, the thing about the transfer is like when you already have money to transfer, you can buy a potential person, right? So you buy people that have a huge skill rather than the others. So you buy those kind of skill. So what is really create the problem in the very first place in this transferring state? Because when you buy people, you buy its high quality, right? In order to win, for example, in the future competition. So it is cannot be justified because when you transfer all the good people or high skill people to one team, it will create a corrupted system whereas there is a gap between a good team and the bad team which won because of this transfer is exists in the very first place. So that is really cannot be justified in any way. So moving on to my second argument, for its community and its sustainability of the football career, it will not last long or doesn't have a sustainability anymore because the football is entertainment, right? So even the condition of the one even the competition one is entertainment, so it have an audience. What is really audience want? Like the audience want the how the match will become more exciting, dynamic, and more fun in order to fulfill the society happiness. So and with that kind of factor, when the regulation transfer exists, it will create the less sustainability because the dynamic will not exist in the very first place, and the second is like the unity and the fairness will of the FIFA upholding is not exist because the transfer will create a gap between the people to between the one team to team another. So that is really cannot be justified in our very first place. So that's why in its first place it is unethical and cannot be justified, and that's why we should support the effort of our regulation for the FIFA to banning this kind of transfer in UEFA Champions League. So that's all from me. Thank you.